before we move back to the heavyweights, we're talking there about Frazer winning a British title quicker than anyone. We recently saw Adam Azim, his promotional stablemate, win a European title incredibly early in his career. It's been announced today that the European Boxing Union have called for purse bids for him against Dton Smith, the British champion. Do you think with the divide between promoters, do you think it will happen?
I really hope it does, because, I think that we've heard promoters recently saying, Eddie Hearn said it, Ben Shalom said it, even Frank Warren said it. He said, listen, now we want to start putting in the best against the best. It's about them now proving themselves, not building their careers and their records so much. Let's put the best against the best. And this is the best against the best, that we've got in Britain. I think British, Commonwealth, European titles on the line. Dton Smith, Adam Azim is a great fight. Dton Smith probably got the more experience of the two. But Adam Azim didn't look particularly good against Enoch Paulson last time out. I thought he looked a little bit flat. Every fighter's entitled to that. There's been a lot of hype around Adam Azim. And a lot of talk about him going on, not if he wins a world title, but when he wins a world title and all that. It's a great fight for both of them, I think. I think that it's a fight that the loser obviously can come back from, because. But I think the winner really kicks him on and puts him into a good position. So I hope that happens. Look, listen, Eddie Hearn's going to want that fight big time. Ben Shalom and Boxer are going to want that fight big time. So let's hope that the promoters have got deep pockets, and let's hope that the British fight fans get the fight that they want, because that is a great fight.
I agree. Big news, obviously, over the last week has been the Tyson Fury situation with the Usyk fight. Just first of all, before we get into the depths of it, was it a punch? Was it an elbow? What do you make of the conspiracy theories we've seen?
I think it was definitely a punch that landed. Whether the elbow went through or not, it's difficult to say, because we've seen the video footage and it's like a short shot. So I don't know whether the elbow connected or it didn't connect. That would be unfair of me to say that. But it was definitely a shot that landed as well. And it happens, Dan. Do you know what I mean? I think the conspiracy theory around, was it old footage? Was it this? Was it that? No, it wasn't old footage. It was something that happens in sparring. Fury spars with an open head guard. He doesn't wear the cheek piece and whatnot. And, it was just an unfortunate thing. It happened to George Foreman actually many years ago. When he was going into the fight with Muhammad Ali, he got cut. Yeah, he got cut before that, and it was delayed. It was delayed. This cut seems more serious though. Like, as in, I know they've remade the date for May the 18th. That concerns me a little bit, because I think it's a little bit too soon. But not because the cut won't heal, but it's about the training you've got to do before that, the sparring you've got to do before that, the intense sparring you've got to do that. He's got to hope that tissue, which will be will be fragile, he's got to hope that doesn't reopen. So let's hope we get the fight on. I know there was a £10 million forfeit for the guy that doesn't turn up. So for Fury's sake, let's hope that cut holds out, because that's a big forfeit, man. But look, let's hope. We want the undisputed fight. We haven't had one since 1999 when you go Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. So that's how often they come around, and we want the undisputed fight. And then that sets up big fights with possibly like Fury, AJ, which we've wanted, which British fight fans have wanted, for ages. So let's hope that we do get the fight that for the undisputed. But it does raise concerns because of the extent of the cut, and that raises concerns for me, because I just go like, I hope he can get through that training camp, unscathed, and it doesn't resurface and doesn't reopen. But I hope he comes through it, Fury, because I want to see the undisputed.
And when they resume training camp, if you were in Fury's position, A, would you wear a full face head guard from now on, and B, would you invite that sparring partner back?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't know what the situation was. I think they left on good terms. I think it was just one of those things, Dan, that happens. Yeah, why not invite him back? They got him there for a reason, because they felt that he was beneficial to Fury's sparring because of the Alexander Usyk style and whatnot. So, yeah, of course, why not get him back? I think that Fury has to protect that eye, and I don't know how he does that in sparring, maybe wears something over it or whatever. He needs to protect that eye, but your concern is obviously in fight night. And you go there, Usyk's got them, he peppers with the shots, and that when it hits the skin, that can cause damage. So that is a concern for you, and it's a massive advantage for Alexander Usyk. But look, people that, these conspiracy theories that are floating around about Tyson Fury and was it old footage and whatnot, of course it wasn't old footage. Like, put that to bed. Like, this is something that happens, and it was unfortunate it happened. Happened to David Hay when he was fighting Fury, actually back in 2013. But it's sometimes because of Fury and his antics and the way that he goes on and slagging people off when they pull out of fights for whatever reason, like he done with David Hay. Sometimes it's like the boy that carried wolf, so all of a sudden you get loads of conspiracy theories. Was it real? Was it not real? Was it old footage and whatnot? Yeah, it was real, and the fight's been postponed, and now they've set a new date. Let's hope we get it.
We saw Joshua Buatsi beat his good friend Dan Aziz last week. Seemed a clear victory in the end. Do you think it's Anthony Yarde for him next, or is it world titles?
I would like to say Anthony Yarde. I think that the undisputed title fight in the light heavyweight division is tied up. June the 1st, and Dmitry Bivol versus Beterbiev. So yeah, I would like to say Anthony Yarde. That's a fight that I would love to see. That would be a great fight, and I think that the British fight fans would love to see that as well. It's a fight that's been talked about for a few years now. Let's hope that we get that. Whilst this undisputed fight goes on, because we don't know what's going on with that. We don't know when the other titles will become vacant, or whether the champion of that fight will want to defend against. So I think that there's an opportunity there, definitely. You're talking about June the 1st. We're now February. I'd love to see. Wouldn't you like to see that Yarde? But that would be a great fight. Yarde versus Buatsi, man. Let's hope we get it.
Last weekend we also saw Conor Benn's latest outing over in the US. Apparently his hearing for his appeal, the board and UCAD's appeal against him, goes up in a couple of weeks' time. What do you make of it? Because Benn's obviously, he's staying active, but he's probably not making a lot of money. Hearn's probably not making a lot of money putting him on in the US.
No, definitely not. Look, I think that he needs to get this sorted out with the British Boxing Board of Control, and until he does that, there's always going to be a cloud over him. He's always going to be judged. Do you know what I mean? It's been going on way too long. I know that, Eddie's taken him out to America and he's been boxing under a different licence or whatnot, but it's still there. Do you know what I mean? It still needs to be sorted out, because until he does that, then no one, I don't think he's going to ever get the respect that he wants. And we've seen that. He's gone sort of we've seen the public perception of him now is something totally different, and that's down to the way that they've dealt with the case. I think it's been terrible the way that it's been dealt with, and I think that he should have confronted the British Boxing Board way before he has. So let's see how that hearing goes. What did I make of the fight against him and Peter Dobson? I thought it was a good fight. It was all right. Peter Dobson was competitive. Yeah. We didn't know nothing about him before he come in. Unbeaten in 16. But there was nothing to suggest that he was going to give Conor any problems. And I thought he had his moments in the fight, and it was decent. Another points win for Conor Benn, which raises a lot of talk about, where's the punch power gone? Well, that's for you to judge. Do you know what I mean? That's for you to judge. But Conor needs to sort this out if he wants to move on and sort of gain that respect that he's looking for.
And just finally, 3 potential fights have been kind of mooted for Conor Benn next. Chris Eubank Jr., Devin Haney, and more surprisingly, Gervonta Davis, or he's now known as Abdul Wahid. Yeah. Out of those 3, which one would you most like to see for Conor Benn?
No, it's none of them really, if I'm totally honest. I think that, fights are made on social media, and Conor Benn's calling out everyone and his dog. He'll call out absolutely anyone, you know what I mean? And then you can't call out all them names and then fight Peter Dobson. And then, you know what I mean? Just go no, look, obviously they want a big fight for him for obvious reasons. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of costings over what's been going on. But look, he needs to prove himself against a world-class fighter, and we've not seen that yet. So forget Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis, and you're talking about sort of pound-for-pound stars. You know what I mean? They're big fighters, and you got to earn your stripes a little bit there. It's not earned on social media or slagging each other off and whatnot. I would like to see him against a world-class opponent, and then we take it from there.
Spencer, really appreciate it, mate.
Cheers, Dan.